We're laying bricks and building guilds. That's right, it's Tiny Towns from AEG. This resource planning town builder pits 1 to 6 city planning mayors against one another in a quick and quaint competition for victory points. Setup begins with the cottage card. Place it near the center of the table but slightly to the left. Next, separate and then shuffle the other building cards by their type as indicated on the back. Draw one from each respective deck and place it face up next to the cottage. Remove the rest of the building cards from the game, you won't need them. Create a supply for the resource cubes and buildings nearby. Next, each player receives a player board and 1 monument marker. Shuffle the monument cards and deal 2 to each player. Monuments are unique structures that can only be built once per game on a player's board. They generally have a special ability and provide bonus victory points in the end game. Each player chooses one of the monument cards to keep and removes the other from the game. The player who most recently constructed something in real life goes first and takes the Master Builder Hammer. Gameplay occurs in rounds, during which the player holding the Master Builder Hammer names one of the 5 resources in the game: wood, wheat, brick, glass, or stone. Next, each player takes a cube of that type from the general supply and adds it to the space on their player board. After placement, each player may then construct any buildings for which they have the matching resources in the correct shape. When building, the player removes the correct resources in that shape, placing them back in the general supply. They may then take the building token and place it on one of the spaces where the resources were removed. The directional alignment of the building pattern doesn't matter as long as the cubes are the right type in the right order. The building can be placed. Players don't have to construct buildings. They may wait until a later turn if they're still planning. Once all players have placed their resources and constructed buildings, the Master Builder Hammer passes to the left and a new round begins. Play continues this way until all players have completed their towns. A town is complete when the spaces on a player's board are filled with resources and they cannot or choose not to construct buildings. Once a player reaches this point, they are out of the game and may start calculating their score. The remaining players continue the game, skipping finished players when passing the Master Builder Hammer until they too have completed their towns. In the end game, players remove all remaining resource cubes from spaces on their boards and empty squares are worth -1 victory point each. Add up the points from buildings, the monument if they manage to build it, and subtract any penalties. The player with the highest score wins. And that's Tiny Towns. The game also includes a few variant rules for play, including Town Hall rules, where the Master Builder Hammer is replaced by a resource deck to randomly distribute resources, and a solo mode for single-player gameplay. I'm Becca Scott, and Tiny Towns are my jam. Same with tiny mayors, tiny citizens, tiny municipal buildings. You can watch me and my friends play this game and other games on Game the Game right here on Geek and Sundry. We'll see you there.